looking good at 2-0. It's going to be a great matchup.
Does Rise still have what it takes, in your opinion, Chance? I know they've had a ton of criticism, and I mean so much criticism. People saying, hey, you know, your online performances, you disappeared. What have you been doing? And they're like, no, we still have this. Of course, we just won the last event. We deserve props. In your opinion, are they still the top dog?
Not the top dog, no, but one of the guys vying for that spot. I don't think there's really a clear-cut number one, at least not at the moment, but it is still early. From what we've seen so far today, Rise, they had one horrendous map to kick off the tournament, and then a close game after that, and Infused ended up coming out on top. When they played Enigma 6, I think it was, completely destroyed them, one of the easiest 3-0s I've seen so far today, so they completely turned their game around. So if that Rise shows up, we're at least going to have a series.
As I said, first matchup this evening for primetime, FaZe versus Rise. Let's send it to our casters, Mr. X and Puckett.
Thank you very much, fellas, in the studio. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It's your #1 team from Vegas going up against #3. But already, Rise slipping up against Infused to start the day. Felony said we got off to a slow start. We got to dig our way out of this.
And to give credit, Puckett was right. Infused showed up. They've been playing great. I had some concerns. You know, Moose was so effective with, you know, a snap takeover at Gfinity. You know, with that being out of the equation, I was worried about his play. Definitely has not affected him as much as I originally thought. PD playing very well for Infused. This group is living up to the hype. It is very difficult to make it out of this.
On the other side,
it is very difficult to make it out of this.
On the other side of the stage, though, from Rise is a FaZe crew who is looking great right now. You beat this Rise team, you're almost guaranteed to make it through out of the groups. All you have to do then is deal with the team coming out of open bracket tomorrow. So FaZe, they control their fate right now. Rise, they're hoping they can get this upset over FaZe. Upset I put in parentheses there, or air quotes, and we'll see if they're able to pull it off.
It's really weird to say. It's like you would consider it an upset if Rise won, and they are your reigning champions coming into this event. It just has been that much of a downfall in the online portion, you know, in between, you know, Vegas and now. They have not looked good in our 2Ks, obviously, some internet struggles from some of their players, but still, I mean, we've seen them place like top 24, top 32. It has not been pretty for them in the 2Ks leading up to this event. And look, they have not played great thus far. Obviously can change a lot of minds in this matchup if they take down FaZe.
Well, FaZe has been dominant in the 2Ks, and it's in part to their key player. Here is our G Fuel key players matchup. Clayster has looked so good online. He's been a fiery player in the venue. So far today, not the best case against the Vegas MVP, Facento, who is no longer playing with that Synaptic bot. He is now switching it up. But I was talking to Felony, asked, is there any drop-off in his gameplay? He said, absolutely not. Bryce is just playing the same way.
No, Fazento's going to be extremely aggressive towards the hard points. His game opens up with the addition of Looney to this team. You know, just makes his life a little bit easier, turns him into somebody last year who's more of an objective-minded player into more of a Slayer now.
And I was asking, you know, what was the change in Facento? What happened between Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare? And they said it's Looney. Yep. He knows where Looney's going to be on the map. Unlike when he played with Nagafen, Nagafen would kind of do his own thing, and Bryce would have to figure out where the pressure is going to come from. He would always have to kind of adapt to what his teammates were doing. Now there's more structure to this squad, and Facento is able to focus on just doing his role, which is now to slay, which is a bit surprising if you've been watching this guy over the course of his career.
Yeah, and this team last year was so talented. They were always in your top 3, top 4, and they were just one player away, and I think Looney has just transitioned great into this squad, has really made a big difference. And on the other side, for FaZe, I know we talked about Clayster, key player. He came into this event very confident. Speaking to him the other day, same with Attach. I'm looking to see if they can really put together a good effort, Chris. I mean, we've been talking for so long like this FaZe team is due. This is their event. This is their event. They always just keep coming up short. I think this one they need to do it. I think in this one, if you win this, you're in a very good spot going forward through the rest of the year. If you lose this one, I think there's going to be more questions about this FaZe team.
As we take a look at a rig draft, Matt, nothing really jumping off the board here for me. Anything to note?
No, not really. It's been pretty consistent in the hard points in terms of the rig draft. We are definitely seeing, you know, FTL jump replace, you know, the Synaptic player.
The rewind.
Yeah, the rewind and the propulsion and whatnot. So you are seeing FTL come in, take that rig spot. A little bit of questionable use sometimes. We've seen FTL jump right into opponents, like right into their gun. We've seen attempts where it looks good and they're just not able to finish off the play. So I still think it's so early using this ability that we're not going to see great use of it here.
And the one thing I did notice as we load up our first hard point is both teams are going to go with the Centurion payload. Of course, that means they will not be running the overdrive most likely. Something that we saw Formal for Optic Gaming do, for example, trying to win those rotations to the new anchor position. So we'll see how the payloads will play out. But once again, this is a massive match for both teams. FaZe, they control their destiny, trying to make it out of groups, going unscathed on day one. Rise Nation, they slipped up early against Infused, and if they get a win over FaZe, could potentially set themselves up for a three-way tie with FaZe and Infused tomorrow, where it'll all come down to map count.
Yeah, I hate when you end up in these must-win situations for a team like Rise going up against such a powerful team like FaZe. And we'll kick things off here. It'll be Breakout Hardpoint to start off our series.
And here you see the intro battle. This first hill, it's smack dab in the center of your screen, and all 8 players are going to be surging that direction. On your screen first is FaZe. He's going to drop Enable as Felony picks up the first kill. FaZe trying to answer back, and that is a big miskill there for FaZe. Now this is going to slow him down. He will not be able to get right into the hard point.
Yeah, and right there when it looked like Rise was going to be able to get control early, they pick up a few quick kills. It is FaZe answering back in a big way. As they get control of the center hard point, it's going to be a split spawn for the side of Rise Nation. So they're going to be far away from their teammates. They need to converge on the middle of the map.
Let's stay on board with FaZe for a little bit here. They got the first 11 seconds of the game. Rise will be continuing to answer back, but I'd love to talk a little bit about each one of these players. Matt, when we saw them play against Enigma 6, we put them on the main stage to kick off the day, expecting that to be a great match. FaZe, they crushed Enigma 6, and it seemed that all 4 players were playing very confidently, especially this guy, Zuma.
Zuma put up one of the craziest uplane games I have seen so far in Infinite Warfare. I mean, he's had like 30 kills through the first half. I believe maybe if it was 29, got his 30th kill right at the beginning of the second half. But still, regardless, an insane game there at the start. And as we rotate over towards cell block, he's going to be locking down the middle of the map. His teammates are going to push all the way far, cut off that wall run area, and you see where Rise is spawning out. They can't keep going on that lower portion of your minimap across that wall run. They're going to get taken out. They need to flood through the middle of the map. Zuma knows that, and he's picking up kills there.
And the key player is the man on your screen now, number 7, Attach, won the battle against, I believe it was FaZe and Aqua, to lock in the spawns for his team. Attach, this is a guy we've talked about his ability to go off at any moment, and I just love watching how he's grown in his career. He now plays with so much swagger, and talking to him, he said, you know, this may actually be the tournament we walk away with the trophy.
And cell block is such a difficult hard point to break in, because if you break that anchor in the back, you can actually go out on that outer portion of it and still lock down the hill. You have teammates support coming from the wall run, so even if Rise was able to break that, you probably would not have seen them take the hill. And we're going to go over to Graveyard as FaZe pulls out to a big lead.
And talk to me a little bit about this hard point in particular, because we have seen this one just get so much action. Everyone flies through the air, but it seems to be the team set up first that can walk away with close to 60 points.
Oh, and a big 3-piece there from FaZe. You're going to be able to take a ton of time if you got players playing like that. Usually we see a player go prone in this position, has teammates look over the top of him right there. FaZe takes matters into his own hands, picks a 3, calls it a Scarab, not going to be able to pick him up with that. And I do question why we see the Scarab so much in respawn game modes with so much blackjack being used.
He's just scouting out, Matt. He's just looking for some pressure, and with that Scarab, he was able to identify no one was going to be pushing up those mid steps, only one player pushing from the front, but unfortunately, Rise was caught off guard from the back. Doesn't matter, FaZe saluting after that one. They clear house, all FaZe down, and look at your scoreboard, ladies and gentlemen. Rise Nation has taken the lead.
And it's going to be Attach set up for these next spawns for FaZe, so they're going to play for the commissary hardpoint. But a tremendous comeback on that Graveyard Hill from Rise Nation. They take most of the time there. You see FaZe trying to get control of this back helipad area. Nice shots there, taking out Clayster. Rise Nation gets a fast break.
And FaZe, he was fully streaked out. He's on an 8 streak. We'll go back to him in a moment. For now, though, it's Looney watching the transitions. They have locked down the last 2 hills perfectly. 20 points in commissary as you see the teammates continue to score behind Looney. He's kind of the first line of defense here, and he will finally fall. FaZe's streak is done, but he's already at 10-6, making that 11-6. On the other side, though, Enable, the Ginger, going in 11-7 for FaZe. You look where his teammates is Attach and Zuma off to slow starts.
And this has been a really odd hardpoint game to kick things off. You do have FaZe in control of the hill right now. They should be able to tie it up and take the lead, depending if Rise Nation decides to challenge it or not. But look at some of the scores we have here early. Looney 5-7, really low engagements for a hardpoint game. Aqua, a guy who we talk about as the main slayer for this Rise Nation team, getting off to a 4-10 start, and they're only down 1. It's pretty good if you're Rise Nation. On the other side of things, Zuma, we highlighted his great play, in the last series that we saw him on the main stage. Right now, sitting at 5-8.
We're about halfway through this first game. If you are just watching Call of Duty for the first time, welcome. You're a little bit late, but don't worry. Hardpoint, it's going to be the first team to 250 points. And already, you see FaZe kind of winning the first set of rotations, but Rise, they made up all of their time. If you look at it, the big picture, basically on just 2 hills.
Yeah, now, I mean, if you're Rise, you look at the first rotation of hardpoints, and you kind of have to be pretty happy with how you played. I mean, FaZe goes on a long streak, brings you back into the game, and you expect Aqua to pick things up. You do not expect him to kind of continue on this path. It would be pretty difficult for them to win after that, but you do see it's going to be Rise Nation taking the last few seconds here as FaZe tries to set up for cell block.
Here comes Zuma on the flank. He's going to find one. His teammates trying to pinch on the other side of the map. It's Clayster setting up to grab these spawns. Big fight there, and he's going to win it against Aqua.
And I mean, when you are winning these back rotational gunfights, you are going to get a lot of time on these hills. Looney, the only one for Rise Nation on this side of the map. You see players, all the arrows on the minimap for FaZe converging on him. It's an easy kill. And now it's going to be all 4 members of FaZe around the cell block hardpoint. 40 seconds left. A ton of time here for the taking.
This is where FaZe started to pull away in the first rotation, looking to do it again. But FaZe in the back lines has already picked up 2, looking for a third. Shots exchanged. Felony is going to be able to trade that one out. Meanwhile, Aqua coming to life, picks up a double, and FaZe keeps rolling. Remember, last time he did this, he went on an 8-kill spree, completely locked down Graveyard. He is going to be rotating early with Aqua to do it once again.
Yeah, and you can see they're just going to leave Felony inside of the hardpoint for the last 15 or so seconds. Both teams going to go all the way over towards Graveyard. So these kills are so crucial, and you see the kill feed. It is all Rise Nation right now.
FaZe picked up the big double. Aqua is going to finish off Zuma, but FaZe not done pumping in. This is Aqua's 4th kill in a row. Will he be able to make it 5 and work towards these streaks? There's the Scarab now working on his rockets.
And this is scary for FaZe Clan. You knew that Aqua was going to come alive eventually. If he gets going here towards the end of this game, and good play from FaZe carry on, Rise can take this game 1.
Again, their lead. Points remaining here in the Graveyard. FaZe still looking for an answer. A little bit of an overextension from Aqua could cost them here, but it's already 2 down for FaZe. Solid hold. It's FaZe again, all over your kill feed. This man is playing just like he did in Vegas. Double positive, 22 and 11 on another streak. This is his 4th in a row.
Well, I think last year what definitely hurt him is he did not have another player who was going to play aggressive up in the opponent's face. And you see the use of camo here. He's able to get one, a lot of shots in the second player, not able to finish him off. But now with Looney on this squad, he has that running mate, that tag team partner to put a lot of pressure on the opponents.
And look for his score streaks to come into play on this next commissary hardpoint. If FaZe somehow breaks in, he could quickly scare them out. For now, though, it's Rise who is set up first. All the wall runs are going to be locked down by Aqua here in the middle building. Meanwhile, you see FaZe, that player number 4. He's going to be positioned in the top window, watching the middle of the map as well.
See Aqua coming here through the middle of the cuts, trying to take out players from FaZe as they try and put a lot of pressure on that back helipad area. But you just see on your mini-map how far away the players from FaZe are spawning from each other. You have players over by cell box, players over in the back helipad. They're going to converge on the hard point here with 30 seconds left. But Rise Nation very close to closing this game out.
This is a big play from Clayster. It was a 20-second transition. He wins both gunfights. One player in the back finds the second one coming across the wall run. 4th streak for Clay. He needs to get it going here late in the game. They are down big. Rise 29 points away from victory, and it could all happen here on the next 2 hills. Not only do they have to contest for this center hard point, they really have to win the next transition for the cell block.
Yeah, so what FaZe really needs to do is, like you were saying, Chris, put a lot of emphasis on getting towards that cell block hard point. This one right here, you just have to take enough time for where Rise cannot close the game out here. You need to really focus on setting yourself up for success over by cell block.
We're going to up the tempo here in the final moment, showing you all the action. Attach, he's going to find 2 players, but it is 4 kills coming in for Rise. Only 1 traded back for FaZe. Zuma trying to answer back as he takes down Aqua, but this is a back and forth battle that Rise is winning. They've met the 230 mark, and they keep it going. Will FaZe have an answer? So far, Aqua shuts it down. A big 3-piece, make it all 4. Aqua just eliminated the FaZe clan.
Yeah, and he's on top here, taking the rest this time. And FaZe in a bad spot here. They got to challenge this, which could give up the spawns for this next hard point. You see FaZe's going to get 2 with the streaks in the feed. And Zuma.
They're going to win it here, Matt.
And they may win it here, Chris.
3, 2, 1. It's Rise Nation, 250 to 184 in your first hard point.
And that is huge in terms of momentum in this series. We know what an emotional player FaZe is. When he has a crazy game 1 like that, you expect him to just keep building on that for the remainder of the series.
What a performance from our key player. It's FaZe from Rise getting the best of Clayster and the FaZe clan. Honestly, you look at this one, it was all Facento who turned that tide. He was the one who had the original backstab at cell block, was able to stop FaZe from scoring, then the huge plays over at Graveyard. He got his team the lead, and even though they traded back and forth from hills 5 through 7, they were able to finish strong.
Yeah, a lot of questions about Facento coming into the event, how he was going to play. Comes in there, plays lights out in game number 1.
Facento getting the job done. Rise Nation, they know how much they need this match. And Felony, he knows how important the map count is as well. So if they get the win, they're hoping to get it done in 3. For now, though, before we load up Search and Destroy, we want to introduce you to our Vegas MVP. If you're watching for the first time, it's my pleasure to introduce you to Bryce Facento.
Facento is one of the most fierce competitors in all of Call of Duty.
It's Facento yet again going huge.
Facento getting 3 kills, playing absolutely out of his mind right now.
An MVP-like performance. Rise Nation take the map. And oh man, Facento is hyped.
We see a lot of shots of Facento. He is always hyped up on the main stage, just has a lot of confidence in himself and his team's play.
What I love about Facento is he's a selfless player. Typically, he's not the one putting up the big stats. But at Vegas, he was, and I want to see him continue to do that at Atlanta and moving forward in Infinite Warfare. He puts the time into the game, and he's a great player overall.
Back in the day, I viewed Facento as just a search and destroy superstar. But now in Infinite Warfare, he does it all. He tops the leaderboard in Respawn and S&D. I mean, he was our Vegas MVP for a reason.
For Facento, home field advantage, being from Georgia, MLG Atlanta, can he go back-to-back with MVPs? I honestly think he can. This is a player who's been grinding so much. He's on a huge tear right now. He wants to prove everybody wrong who's ever doubted him. You go back to Vegas, and oh my days, I've never seen Facento play so well. It was an honor to give him that MVP trophy because he truly deserved it.
The skinny bot's gone. He won't be able to play the same. He doesn't have his propulsion. There's no rewind. Doesn't matter. Facento still able to perform like that.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been a player we've looked at in the past, has a ton of potential, all the talent in the world. We've seen him have big games in the past against top competition. Just was not able to do it consistently. This year so far, we have seen him put up some great performances, and it looks like he's very consistent, has a lot of firepower on this team now to help him out. Looks like a completely different player.
The other player I do want to touch on before we get into this S&D was Aqua. Very slow start. We talked about his KD in the first rotation. He was the guy closing out with 3 pieces, the 4-piece at a time. Aqua, this was your original Slayer. When Facento and he went all the way to the championships back in Advanced Warfare, it was on this man's back. He carried the team in his slaying.
But that's the difference between this team this year as opposed to last year. Last year, you watched this team play with Nagafen instead of Looney. If Aqua has a bad game, they don't win. No matter what anybody else does, Aqua has a bad game. They do not have enough slaying to get it done. This year, Facento obviously has stepped in, filled a big role there. You do have the power of Looney and Felony as well, where if Aqua doesn't have a great game, you're still in it. Where if Aqua doesn't have a great game, you're still in it. And the respawns, you're still capable of taking these games.
I'm looking forward to the camo battle. Facento versus Clayster here in the S&D. But big picture here, Matt. I love watching Zuma from FaZe when it comes to Search. Who's your favorite player on Rise to watch?
I would actually go with Facento or Felony. I think both of those guys very talented S&D players. If I had to pick one, I think Felony. You bring him in. You know, last year, very good in Search and Destroy, carries it over into this year. I'm looking to see if he can be the difference maker. Him and Zuma have pretty similar play styles, going to both be very aggressive on the map.
It's the most gorgeous map in IW. We are headed to retaliation for Search and Destroy. FaZe Clan finding themselves down 1-0 here in the best of 5. Will they be able to tie things up, or will Rise extend their lead and go into match point for Uplink? It's time to kick things off, and we're going to be starting with your attacking team. It's going to be the Rise Nation. Matt, pick a player for me.
Let's go on with Felony here to kick things off. We'll see how he starts, whether he's going to go aggressive towards Hotel Hallway. We've seen that in the past. You're going to see a lot of action over towards the B side, over towards A, unless it's a long flank.
Big shout out once again to Brian Sate, our new observer for this event, former pro, driving your in-game cameras. And your first blood already, you see it's Looney picked by Attach. So good start on defense here for FaZe Clan. And you're going to see Facento answer back against Zuma. but a 3-on-3. You have to think this may favor the defense. As I say that, Felony gets behind Clayster, and it's Rise with the advantage in the 2-on-2.
Well, now it's very scary for FaZe because they know Felony is behind them. They have to be very cautious. You see the arrows on the minimap. Attach has to respect the fact that he may still be back there, watch that back area, and then really kind of puts Enable in a tough position as well because he doesn't know where these players of Rise Nation are coming from.
They check the bedroom, and they're going to find Attach, so Aqua picking up a kill, and at the end, it's going to be Enable executed. The frustration already on Clayster's face.
Yeah, now right now, if you are FaZe, you just need to slow everything down. You need to just kind of get composed. Because once Rise gets going, Chris, they're a very scary team. You know, these guys, we see them on the main stage all the time. They get fired up. Very emotional guys. They start to just spiral these games out of control. Really can be a snowball-y type of team.
And there's a look at Felony. This is a guy who made his name in Search and Destroy, starting off very well with the strong flank to open things up. We'll see how they play defense. On the attack is FaZe Clan. Zuma's going to go wide right, watching the perimeter. Meanwhile, Attach has found action in the middle hallway.
And he's going to have to back up. Not a good spot to challenge there. And no, FaZe obviously taking a different approach here on the offensive end, playing this a little bit slower, trying to get one of the players of Rise Nation to get a little bit too aggressive out of position and take advantage of it.
And look at this. The bomb site is wide open right now. FaZe is going to be working their way across the bridge. This is not the bomb you normally see attacked here, but it seems to be working. Just one defender in position, but FaZe may have waited too long. They're going to see the opposition and potentially retreat. Here comes the rotation back from Zuma, but Attach is going to be caught by Felony, as will Enable, so 2 down. It's all up to Clayster and Zuma here.
So I was actually going to say right there, I was a little bit nervous because FaZe, they were moving up the bridge and they just stopped. That's the one spot you cannot get caught in the middle of that bridge. You're not going to be able to turn and get out alive. They get caught there, no man's land. There's no cover, not an easy escape route, and they get taken out pretty easily.
Aqua, 2 rounds, 2 round-ending kill cams. Getting the job done for Rise Nation. They are the first to score 2 points. And of course, in Search and Destroy, it's going to be the first team to 6 round wins at the professional level. We go into round 3 with Rise back on the attack, carrying the bomb. This time I expect it to be FaZe, and it looks like they're going to be taking that bomb directly to the B-bomb site. Meanwhile, the distraction is here from Aqua at A.
It's pretty spread out here from Rise. It looks like they're going to play for first bloods as well at the beginning of this one. Aqua just going to put down some fire, force this player back down from the A bomb site. At that moment in time, maybe you see a rotation go over towards A with the bomb, but FaZe trying to make a play happen here towards the mid.
And talking to all players, what is the key to winning Search and Destroy on retaliation? They say you got to control this deck. FaZe, he has scared off his opposition. He has taken control. They can now freely plant over at B as long as they get the kills on stairs. And as I say it, it's Attached with 2 in the feed. Felony's going to answer back, but that makes it a 2 versus 3. Looney falls, and that is the round. FaZe Clan picking up all 4 kills and able to get on the board.
Yeah, it seems like Rise, they know that Attach is playing in that top bedroom. They're going to try and challenge him, put a lot of pressure on him to lock that area down. That time, Attach comes up with a big 2-piece. And that pretty much secures the round for FaZe there at the beginning. He's had Clayster on a long flank all the way around by Broken. You had Zuma coming to flank through Hotel Hallway to Patio. So very good positioning there from FaZe.
FaZe is going to be on the attack now, though, and I want to see what is the plan. Going to A very slowly did not work. The stall-out tactic completely failed them on the last attack. This time around, it looks like they're going for the early control of the center, and they will have B wide open. Look out for number 3 and 4, though. That is going to be FaZe working with Felony as they are on the long flank behind FaZe.
Yeah, and if you're FaZe, I mean, your strength is to have Attach and Zuma just fly at the opponents. You know, be aggressive up in their face, something a lot of people don't handle well in Search and Destroy. The bomb will go down, and I see FaZe take their positions in the lower street.
And just look how Felony is playing this. He is running around the entire perimeter, checking every single corner. Finally spots a player top deck, calls it out, executed. It's FaZe on Attach. So man advantage in favor of Rise, but only 26 seconds left on the clock, and they got to get to that bomb in the next 15.
Yeah, and this is the player they need to kill. Felony sees one player in that bottom garage. It's going to be Looney flying in, not able to take out Clayster there. So Clay doing a nice job holding that position down. He is going to fall. It's going to be Zuma, the last one alive here for FaZe. Nobody on bomb, though. I believe not enough time to get the defuse.
There we go. You see the smile from Felony. He knows that they bought just enough time. Unfortunately for him, it's going to be FaZe with the score, and he just says, guys, I should have been there a moment sooner. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very difficult position. I mean, even if he is on bomb, it's a tough gunfight to win that top patio from that lower bomb, lower street area. Nah, it is one that you probably would have seen
going to say, do you set a teammate to go prone there? How do you execute that properly, knowing that Zuma is somewhere on the map and he's going to be attacking you?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have one guy on the bomb, then look over. But at that moment in time, I mean, there's so many spots Zuma could come from that it would have been almost impossible to take him out.
Round number 5, tie game here in game number 2 in our best of 5. You see the bomb. It's going to be working up on the deck. FaZe going to back away. It's going to be Zuma looking down the stairs, but Enable was caught in the hallway, so man advantage to Rise once again.
And that is a tough gunfight for Enable to challenge. I mean, you have Felony just boost jumping over the top of a doorway. It's a near impossible gunfight there. So it's going to be first blood in favor of Rise Nation. Let's see how Attach plays this. He's been up in this top bedroom the entire game. He's going to get one. Zuma's going to pick up another. So quickly we're into a 2v2 scenario.
And Attach is going to find action down low. Outshoots Facento and gets away with his life before Aqua can answer back. Aqua peeking a player up top on the deck. They're just trying to bait him in for the pinch, and it's going to be Attach defusing the bomb. FaZe going to hand this one over to Zuma as he is going to be working on his streaks. Attach already with that FTL jump ready for round number 6.
Yeah, and right there, Aqua's in a tough spot. I mean, Zuma knew exactly where he was, did not need the challenge, just told his teammate to get on top of the bomb. That's going to force Aqua out into the lower street. And we talked about in the previous round, the lower street to top patio gunfight, very difficult for that player on the lower street to win.
Round 6 loading up as our players are ready to go at it once again. Enable going to be your bomb carrier for the FaZe clan. Rise Nation spreading out on defense. And FaZe, honestly, if you look at it right now, if they get over to this A site, they could quickly lock it down. Just one player there to defend. Now someone coming from the bedroom just in time.
And I'm surprised after the last FaZe offensive round where they pushed the B bomb site very hard, we did not see more presence from Rise Nation over here at the initial push. Maybe push all the players down the stairs to try and challenge the lower street. But Facento does get first blood. So yet again, another first blood round for Rise Nation.
And not only was that first blood, that was first blood on your bomb carrier. So bomb's down. It's not planted yet here for FaZe. Instead, it's Rise going to walk away with the defensive win, tied up 3-3 once again. Rise will be on the attack. Looney is your designated bomb carrier, it seems, but who's getting these first bloods and where are they at? Is it consistent matter or is it just happening all around the map?
Well, I mean, the last 2 rounds we've seen Rise Nation come up with first bloods. It was Felony that was able to push through into the middle of the map and take out Enable at the beginning. In that round, we did see Facento get 2 big kills at the beginning of these rounds. So at least the previous 2 rounds, we've seen Rise Nation get first blood. Let's see if they can do it again here.
Bomb working its way towards middle. Keep your eyes on Felony. He's on your screen right now. He is going to be watching the long perimeter here over at the bridge. Bomb's going to rotate to him as they look to push. This is what they did in the first round. And remember, Felony was able to catch players from behind. This time, though, he put shots at an opponent who does not get taken out. So his position has been given up. And they're going to have to rethink the strategy. The bomb carrier leading the way through the hotels. It's Facento making his way towards B.
Yeah, showing a lot of action over towards A. And you see Facento trying for a cheeky play here. Aqua in a fantastic position as well. Loses the gunfight to Zuma. Clayster comes out of the top hotel, and he takes out Facento on the bomb. So it's going to be just Looney and Felony alive here for Rise Nation. Looney gets one, just trying to stay alive. Not going to happen.
Attached from behind, and Enable will clean out Felony. So there we go. FaZe, solid defensive hold, and it all kind of started with that misplay over on the bridge. Unable to pick up the first blood. Rise Nation then just gets pinched. Nice pinch from top stairs as well as Clayster coming from bedroom.
Yeah, Rise Nation, they try to create some action over towards the bridge and then get a plant over by the B bomb site, trying to get a lot of the members from the side of FaZe. See the action going over towards A. Maybe they leave the B bomb site alone, but FaZe does not fall for it. They go over, show some action over towards A, quickly go back towards B and able to pick up 2 quick kills.
I love the eyebrows of this guy. Felony, he plays with so much emotion, but it's always like a little bit surprised. It's like, oh gosh, all right, here we go. Another round, let's do it. It looks like this bomb is going to be moving to the top of the map for FaZe. All the action going down the hallway. Attach escapes with his life. Remember, he has the FTL jump as well if he decides to pull it out here. FaZe with a 1-round advantage. And they can take their time. Only one player to defend that bridge. He's behind the tank, and he has been called out by Enable.
just feel like if you're going to go over towards the bridge, you got to go a little bit faster, especially when you see two players get that aggressive towards the middle of the map. I probably would have said, let's just hit this bridge right away, because then you would have had a little bit of a man advantage over there. Maybe you kill that guy in the back tank. It's a little bit harder for these players to get out in the middle of the map.
Instead, it's Looney picking up the first kill on Clayster. Enable, your bomb carrier will fall as well. So bomb down, 2 on 4. Things are not looking good for FaZe. Attach picks up 1, though. Felony cleared out of the bedroom. Now Attach trying to get behind more players. He's going to be checking every angle. Doesn't see anyone to his right where Enable called him out earlier. And a perfect setup on defense. Facento watching his teammates back will find Attach in transition. Zuma, last man here in a 1-on-3 with just 20 seconds to go.
Yeah, he's pretty much exclusively has to play for the kills there. He's not going to do so. He's going to get 1. 2 more players alive. Gets taken out very quick. The bomb into position so far back by his base. Did not have enough time to go back, get it, and then make a play.
Looney with solid K-bar shots. Going to finish off Zuma for your final kill. We're all tied up. Going into a big round number 9. Who is going to take the lead? Looking at some of the numbers, 9-5 is Felony up to this point for Rise Nation. On the other side, the star for FaZe has been Attach. Enable, just 3-6 at this point, has had so much trouble trying to plant the bomb for FaZe.
Now you see the defensive setup coming in from FaZe I thought Rise was going to use previously. You see Facento with a first blood. I feel like it's quite often we're seeing Rise Nation getting these first bloods at the beginning of these rounds.
And Matt, I talked to Felony before this match. He said this is actually the same exact best-of-5 map series that we saw when Optic played FaZe in the 2K final. So they've been studying their opponent. Rise, it looks like they know exactly what FaZe wants to do on the attack. Defense, not so much, but they will have a 1-round advantage. They are on game point, and if you're just joining us, they already beat FaZe in the first hard point.
Yeah, and they look like a completely different team here on LAN as they have online in the 2Ks. We've had a lot of questions about this Rise Nation team coming in. You know, they won Vegas, obviously. They looked amazing there. They have not looked good coming into this in the 2Ks, but they are definitely showing up here in this match against FaZe.
And it's time for your payloads to come out here. If you're the FaZe clan, finish strong. You cannot go down here in round number 10. Zuma already hit with some jammers, going to be slowed down. Of course, his position also given away to the enemy. And here's your first fight. Attach going to win it against Felony. That's a big first step.
Yeah, nobody there to even trade that out. So that is a bad play there from the side of Rise Nation. Attach gets an early first blood. He's got 1 player in the hotel hallway. Not going to win that against Looney. So Looney evens up the odds.
That's a big fight for Looney. His 7th kill in the game. Zuma going to be rotating through. He's got a teammate right behind him to trade out if he loses. Can't find the opponent, but Facento will fall in his crosshairs. The headshot sealing the deal. It's now a 1v3 for Looney. Can the team captain get it done and win the game right here? It's going to be so difficult.
You saw Zuma use that reactive armor, needed to do so to pick up that kill on Facento. And we are going to go to a round 11 here in map number 2. This is such a huge round of search and destroy. Obviously, Rise can go 2-0, taking this one. This would be huge for the group.
Alan, are you ready for a round 11? There's my people. They're waking up. It's game time. You can see the intensity from Facento. He's a shot caller. He is a pure leader, and he is calling the shots here for their final push. Facento, with this active camo, is going to be your player to watch.
Such a powerful ability to have on the side of FaZe, who have Attach with his ability to use as well. So we'll see when Facento decides to use this active camo.
Aqua sitting in the back, just waiting for a push from FaZe on the flank, and there it is. First blood, all ready to rise.
You're going to see a kill traded out on the other side of the map. So Felony is going to fall for the side of Rise Nation. We still have not seen active camo used. Attach still alive with his ability as well.
Aqua getting the job done, already has 2, is going to finally fall to Attach 2-on-2. It is Attach and Zuma up for FaZe, going up against Facento and Looney. And keep in mind, you have an FDL jump available for Attach. On the other side, Facento still with that camouflage.
And this is a very odd situation. When do you decide to use camo here? Attach going to put in a lot of shots, going to use that FTL jump to get a little bit further forward, trying to put that kill away. Here comes the camo from Facento. He's able to take out Attach.
1v1, Matt. It's Zuma versus Facento for the game. Zuma tagged up, running away. 24 seconds left on the clock. Bomb. Not down yet. Facento has scooped it, but he has no idea where Zuma went, and Zuma was right behind him, just a few steps away. They've totally lost each other. Zuma checks the bomb site. There's no Facento. Facento gets over to the bridge. The bomb is going down. Will he be able to get out in time? Zuma's going to find him.
It's a big kill there from Zuma. He goes and checks the B-bomb site as soon as he sees nobody there. Rotates as fast as he can over towards A. Picks up the kill, and FaZe barely gets by Rise Nation in game number 2.
There's no smiles on FaZe Clan. They knew they got away with one there, Matt. It looked like Rise was set up to win. Great job by Attach, using that FTL jump, chasing down the kill. That's what gave Zuma the opportunity to seal it.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was actually a really good use of FTL jump. We were thinking of different situations to use it. We've seen a lot in gunfights themselves. I did like that decision, though, to use it. You get a guy weak in search and destroy. Late rounds, you need to finish off that kill. He uses FTL jump, jumps forward, and picks it up.
All tied up, 1-1. FaZe Clan. It looked like they were going to win the first hardpoint, but then Facento came to life. Here in game number 2, it looked like Rise Nation was going to take it, and at the end, it was just smart plays. Attached, very consistent throughout that whole S&D. Definitely a player to look at going into our next game mode.
Yeah, and it was an interesting use of camo towards the end there for Facento. I probably would like to see them actually play around the camo at the beginning of the round. Use it to open it up. When you get in that 2v2 situation, not a great opportunity to use camo there.
Well, we got 3 more games potentially, Matt. Are we going to a game 5 here?
I don't know. I think potentially FaZe could come back and take these 2 next respawns, but with the way we've seen Rise Nation playing game number 1, who knows?
All right, well, we have a commercial break coming up here in just a moment. When we return, though, it is time for Uplink, the swing game number 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
One of the key strengths of Rise Nation is the fact that these guys are all great friends, right? Team chemistry in Call of Duty is absolutely massive. We talk about it every time Roster Mania rolls around, and when you are good friends with your teammates, it's only going to be a good thing. Rise as well, they have a lot of confidence. Winning the last event, I mean, that's going to do wonders for them as they head into MLG Atlanta. The addition of Looney, that was massive for them in my opinion, and you look at Search and Destroy, I think Rise are arguably one of the best teams at it right now.
It's no secret that on the main stage, in the toughest moments, that this trio at points was a little inconsistent. You needed Aqua to always go off last year, and you didn't always see that. Yes, now with Looney being added into the lineup, I think that helps, but they need to remain consistent not only from this first event at Vegas, but now coming into Atlanta. They cannot take the foot off the gas pedal.
You look at Infinite Warfare and you think of Rise, and I'm so excited for them for the entire year. I think if they can keep their heads down and keep grinding all year long, stay as a team when you know many other teams are going to make changes, this is a team who, come COD champs, could make a serious run and potentially walk away with that trophy.
That is a look at Rise Nation, who took home our first event here at the CWL season. They took home the Vegas title and that trophy. The MVP award, of course, going to FaZe. But you look at the whole event, you talk to the fans here, they'll probably tell you FaZe is the team to beat in this venue.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think you look FaZe and obviously Optic Gaming, two very strong teams, but it was awesome to see Rise Nation win Vegas. I mean, these are guys who have been so close in the past, could not get over the hump, and they were tremendous at that event. They're definitely looking very good at this one as well. A lot of people probably, even including myself, kind of undersold them coming into this event.
And it's so key to get off to a hot start here in Infinite Warfare, to be at the top of your pro points. This morning we opened the day up announcing the $4 million year here, as we're going to see so many events, and it all sets up stage one, which is going to be right after Dallas. The pro points will be locked in with the top teams securing a spot, and from there they're going to be in for a treat. Lots of money coming their way if they continue to succeed.
And obviously with how the pro points work, I mean, you have to come and place well at these events. I mean, one event with a slip up, you can find yourself on the bubble. I mean, we came into this one with Luminosity, a very talented team, down in like our 8-9 range, so you have some very talented teams that are looking to have some big performances here, kind of give themselves a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah, Luminosity, that team who took out Cloud9 already. Yeah. Cloud9 sitting at 0-2. We have a stacked tournament here in Atlanta, and of course, this is just the beginning. Here on day one, we're all in pool play. So far in this pool, we have FaZe sitting at 2-0. We have a 1-1 Rise team looking to go 2-1 with the upset of FaZe, and then of course Enigma 6, the team that's been beat up by everybody but Infused. So far, Infused, they caused the upset over Rise, but they're down 1-0, I was just told, by Enigma 6. So we might not see a three-way tie. These might be your two teams coming out of the group tomorrow.
Yeah, and Enigma 6 is a team that we had pretty high hopes for coming into the group. They have obviously not performed as expected. So it could be, you know, the way they make an impact on this is taking out Infused here, and that would kind of push, you know, Rise and FaZe potentially forward.
This is your pool of death here, Pool A. When we first heard the announcement, we were like, oh crap, this is stacked. You got 2-0 FaZe Clan, as we discussed. Infused pulled off the first upset. The Europeans coming over, beating Rise Nation to start the day in game number 5. Enigma 6 off to a very slow start. They were winless up until this first game against Infused. Enigma 6 trying to battle their way back. As you look at the other pools, Matt, any big surprises?
Well, I think the two biggest things to look out for is obviously in Pool C, you have Cloud9 at 0-2. They lose to Elevate and they lose to Luminosity. And then in Pool D, Orbit, they just win Gfinity. They win the 2K right after Gfinity, and they get ran through by E United and Envious early.
America, baby. Team 3G, the squad no one thought would do anything. Also a team to look at in Group C. But for now, it's time to take you back to Pool A. We got FaZe and Rise Nation going into the swing game. This is going to be, of course, your rig draft, where, once again, everyone is going to lock in the same exact payloads and traits.
Yeah, so we do see on the side of Rise Nation, you'll see the Overdrive come out here in Uplink. It's a very powerful ability. You know, you put it up there with Camo as the two individual abilities that you can put points on the board with.
This is kind of what we expected to see here in the Uplink. When you look at these players, though, who's got the best shot? Who's the baller, Matt? Who's going to be throwing up the one-point plays?
Oh, man, I feel like you know, there really isn't a true objective player in this. It's whoever's close to the objective. You look on both sides. I mean, there's nobody who really stands out as somebody who can't make a play with the drone. I will say, you know, when I was in Europe, a lot of the players struggled with the one-point throws because the trajectory of where you kind of release the ball and where it goes has changed from last year to this year.
Really.
They don't play basketball in Europe, exactly. So you do see some obviously weird throws at times with players still adjusting to where the ball goes and the height that it travels at. So I do think everybody is actually a little bit shaky on their one-point throws, so it should be no excuse. You should be practicing them by now.
Now this, of course, is Precinct, and I was talking with Tommy from Fnatic, his new squad, and he was complaining about Precinct. He said this was our worst map, and I asked him, why does Precinct give so many teams such a hard time? And he says it requires so much more slaying than something like Frost or Throwback even. So, Matt, talk us through in the early moments of this game. What's the key strategy? How do you score, and who has the preferred side?
So from the side that Rise Nation is on, you can see the red arrows on your mini-map. They need to control that top ticket area. If they're able to do that, you see where the arrows from FaZe are spawning up now in that back alley. They're able to lock them in the back there. The only ways they can exit is through that top narrow choke over towards top ticket or over towards that bottom by gas station. If you're Rise Nation, that's what you need to do. You can put a lot of points on the board that way.
Little pre-fire coming out of Facento as he and Felony are going to pick up some early kills. They also have the drone. Facento going to try and move this away from his teammates, try and peel back some FaZe players, and he has no goal here of going for a score. He is just trying to play FaZe out of position. Instead, it's Rise on the back foot, and FaZe could be on a quick attack here.
Yeah, now, since they've actually, moved this portal that FaZe is attacking a little bit further out towards the back of this alley, it has evened this map out tremendously. Obviously, Infinity Ward making a lot of adjustments to the CWL rule set throughout the year, making it, one of the better competitive Call of Duty titles we've seen in a while, and it's going to be FaZe putting a 1-point play on the board there early with a throw through the back alley. Good score there from FaZe.
Immediately after, it was a nice retaliation, though, from Rise, and as I say that, they're going to get caught in transition by Clayster, who just came off that respawn. Clay, slow start 1 and 2, but look at Enable. 5 and 1 in your first 90 seconds. He has been just lights out in their respawn so far.
And I feel like he's the one player we don't talk a lot about on FaZe. We talk about, Clayster, the leader, and Attach and Zuma, up in your face doing a lot. Enable is just such a smart player. I mean, you've been casting him for years, always in a good position, very accurate shot. You put him on a lot of these other teams, he's like a top flight slayer.
When I first found Enable, he was playing another first-person shooter, and he was just a guy who would pull out a sniper rifle and rip some faces. It was just, you didn't count on him to do his primary. He'd just get the job done with a single bullet. Attach, though, picking up 2 is going to clear the way here for FaZe. Enable on the pinch, the combo coming in. They spot the last remaining player, and unfortunately won't be able to get that drone off. The spawn's coming in, and Looney's going to shut it down.
Yeah, and it's a very difficult situation for FaZe there with the drone down on the ground right outside of construction. All the elevation in favor of Rise Nation shooting down on FaZe. Not going to be able to put points on the board that way.
Attach not letting any members of Rise Nation near his ticket booth. Zuma also in the kill feed. That is going to be everyone down from Rise. Drone still on the ground, but it'll be scooped up by Clayster. So Clayster looking to be the player to score as he's got 3 lead blockers. Attach picks up 1. There's the second. And now this drone pushes up after a 3rd straight kill from Attach.
Yeah, and it looks like it was actually a 1-point throw attempt that does not go in. Attach still picking up some kills on a 6 streak, make it 7. It's going to be a 1-point play going in there for FaZe Clan. Attach is rolling.
Go, baby, go. That was Enable who jumped the ball up, and it fell in for just a 1-pointer. No dunk this time, but still a 2-0 lead with 2 minutes to go in your first half. And Attach is on a 9 streak, 14 and 5. He's fully streaked out. He just took this game over. Can he keep it rolling? Finally shut down by Aqua.
Yeah, I mean, you just see just the pressure he was putting on the Rise Nation base. Players just rotating out from their goal to that top statue area, having to take Attach out. Took them a while to do so, but FaZe, I mean, if you're Rise Nation, you actually have to be pretty okay with that. They only get 1 point on the board there.
Absolutely, and a pretty nice answer back from Aqua. He went on a 3 spree, got them out of the bad position, and kind of locked down this right side of the map. The only player in that position now, though, is Felony, as Facento will be watching the bottom center. He's going to try and sneak in on the flank as Felony pushes from the front, but they will get overwhelmed in the middle.
And nobody there towards the middle of the map. You see Aqua coming in here a little bit late. FaZe going to trade those kills out effectively, try and get the drone out towards Statue. In their previous match, I casted, this is the exact strategy they use from this side. Try and get the drone down over by Statue, throw it down, pick up some kills, then try and push it forward.
Rise Nation, you said they're playing from the more favorable side, right?
Does not look like it.
Not working out in their favor. FaZe has to be happy going into halftime with just 2 points, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a 3rd toss coming in. There is a 1-point score coming in from Rise. That's going to be thrown up by Facento just before being cleaned up.
And look, I mean, if you're Rise Nation, you can't be too upset if this is the first half that you put together. A huge streak by attaching your base only results in 1 point for FaZe Clan. Could have got a lot more dangerous. If you see Rise put points on the board here at the last seconds, if they get control of the drone, pretty good first half for them.
No luck for Clayster. Attach still holding this drone, saying, where'd everybody go? Well, it looks like Zuma cleared the way, and there is a 1-point toss once again. A 2-point lead, but that's just a single possession here in Uplink. FaZe looks like they will be going into the half. Up 3-1. On the other side for Rise, you look at the players who are playing well. Facento, again, positive, but he's the only one on his team. He needs Aqua to go up big in the second half.
Yeah, look, I mean, a 1-possession game, not the end of the world there for Rise Nation. But you do have FaZe Clan going into the more preferred of the two sides, where they're attacking that area where you can spawn them in the back alley. The opening break is going to be huge, Chris, determining who's going to take this second half. If you're FaZe, you come out, get 3 dead at the beginning, you get drone control, you're going to get points on the board.
Once again, Attach had a 9-kill spree in our first half, but they were only to get 1 point from it. He's 19-8, your player to start with, and he has saved all of his score streaks here for side 2.
And looks like here, at least early, Rise not going to put a lot of pressure on drone spawn. They're going to play a little bit more defensively, give up some of the map here to FaZe Clan. But FaZe is playing slow in their own right. You see Clay at the top of the statue, able to get 1. He's just trying to pick up some kills, open up this top ticket area.
Center just got melted by Clay. Enable's taking care of Felony. Drone is moving up. Clayster is going to lead this charge. He's already got the spawns pinched. And you see player number 2, that's Enable at the top. Going to throw the drone forward, pick up a kill as well. Attach in the feed, but I think this one could be stopped. Nope, it's going in. 4-1 for FaZe. Rise just a second later to stop that drone.
It's a smart play there by Attach to settle for the 1-point play. Was not going to be able to make it in for 2. Zuma still here, picking up kills in this area. It's going to have 2 players that came through the back alley, pick both of them up, but it's going to be Rise able to get out through gas towards the middle of the map, trying to get the drone back towards their area where they can go towards Cherry Blossom, towards construction. Just not enough area to get into the back there as FaZe is taken out with the drone.
Look at all these numbers, Matt. There's just one guy who is not playing like the others. Attach is on another level. Now he's starting to call in these streaks. The Rockets are going to land, and Aqua is going to be the player picked. FaZe going to be blown up as well. This should be a dunk. 1 player to beat. The 5 streak from Attach leads to a 6-1 game.
And such a smart play here by Attach. When the player goes in for the 2-point play, you actually saw no contestation, so he knew the players were coming out towards gas. He's able to pick 1 more player up. Could potentially lead to another score for FaZe.
He better use these score streaks because he's about to earn some more. You got Enable walking down that ticket booth. You said this is the key to victory. FaZe doing a great job in the first half defending this area. In the second half, they have had total control. Rise completely on the back foot, and they are now just getting slaughtered. Another dunk coming in from Clayster.
Yeah, and just the slaying power is just way too much for Rise Nation right now. Clay gets some tags up after that grenade. Attach still on that streak. It's on a 9 streak right now. Clay with some shaky shots there, but Attach, man, he has been insane during this uplink game.
And he doesn't care about his KD. You see him going for the objective now. Puts in another dunk. 31 in 10, a 10 streak.
And he's
streaked out again.
And he's gotten 5 points for his team. So, I mean, he's done the most objective work, dominating in the kills department. And overall, just crazy game from Attach thus far. Shows you the type of player he is.
Here comes the Rockets once again. He got 2 last time. He used it this time. Just Felony. Looney's going to be able to pick up Zuma. So no more pressure coming in from FaZe. They're actually going to have to play defense for the first time here in our second half. And Looney is going to pop that overdrive only to find bombardment and actually didn't have to use that payload. You're going to see Zuma and Enable picking up kills though, and it's going to be FaZe continuing to push forward.
Rise in a very difficult spot here, Chris. They need to put a lot of pressure on. They cannot get drone control. They're just pinned in the back of their base. It has not been a pretty uplink game.
Enable trying to get in position. The only player at the top of the map for FaZe. He's going to be the last alive, has to defend himself here. And he knows there's going to be pressure from the ticket booth. 1 player down low, spotted. Great angles these players are taking as well. You can see just how much time they've put in the game. They know exactly where the opponents are going to be. He's checked all 3 locations. He has fended off his opponents until all of the reinforcements are here. This was all set up by Enable, and now Zuma is going to succeed. 3 straight kills as they surge forward.
Yeah, I mean, Zuma just was able to pick up those kills because Enable's just able to stay alive. I mean, Attach was there helping Enable for a little bit, but Enable staying alive on that top statue, just given so much time for FaZe to lock down their base. And Rise Nation, their offensive push is just stalled out because of that.
The drone is picked up though by Rise. They're going to try and go the back alley. Up in construction is Looney. He's going to be taken down. No more push. Attach going to be picked off from inside his base, but Rise, they're now just going to have to force their way across the middle of the map at this point with a minute left. This one is all locked up. FaZe Clan 10-1. There is no way they lose this one, Matt.
Yeah, very dominant performance in uplink. We've seen some great uplink play from FaZe here at this event. Definitely one of their strongest, if not their strongest game mode right now. You see Rise spawning at that top ticket area. More streaks coming in. It's another 2-point play comes home. And Chris, I mean, just look at the kill disparity between these teams. kind of tells the entire story. I mean, once you see that, kills, you kind of know what the scoreboard's going to say in terms of overall game score.
We saw 2 9-kill streaks coming in from Attach. Zuma on an 8-kill streak, looking for 10. He is going to pick up 1 there with the Rockets. 32 and 18 from Zuma, who really just went on fire at the end of this one. Attach, though, definitely the MVP for FaZe in our swing game.
Yeah, I mean, if that is a swing game, it is definitely swung heavily in favor of FaZe. Dominates the slaying department, 14-1 win there in game number 3. And man, going into another respawn after this. Be tough to see Rise winning it.
I'm not great at reading lips, but I'm pretty sure Attach said, let's flip and go, baby, right after that game 3. He is fired up, and you see Clayster, he is feeding off that energy as well.
Just an emotional guy, Clay. I mean, always hyped up. And it's actually quite funny. We highlighted, how good Attach was, Zuma's right there with him. I mean, Zuma, I think, finishes up with 32 kills, Attach with 33. So Zuma just went crazy in the second half as well.
Absolutely. You got your 2 young Slayers brought in by the old veteran. Let's take a look at Clayster from the FaZe clan.
There he is, the hype man himself, Clayster. It's Clayster! Of course it's Clayster! Clayster with the ace wins FaZe the round. Clayster just said 1 clip is all I need. Clay, go Clay, go Clay!
I'll never forget the first time I saw Clayster back in Black Ops 2. He had a mustache. He had a long ponytail. He looked like, honestly, he just got back from Woodstock. It's a video game tournament. You've got some nerds, you've got some different hair colors, some interesting personalities, but Clayster looked like a straight hippie out of a film. It was wild to see, and now just to see him evolve into this more, I guess, handsome, dashing leader that he's kind of become on his teams, it's been kind of wild to see, because I didn't know who he was when I first saw him. I was like, who the hell is this kid?
Where do we begin with such a legend of the Call of Duty scene? I mean, you could trace his name back all the way to the early days of the Call of Duty 4 competitive scene. Even though he wasn't as big of a name back then, he was still around and competing with the best. If I had to choose one word to sum up Clayster's career, I would say fierce. I think in every event you've ever watched Clayster playing, he's gone at it with everything he has. He's always been a fierce competitor and nobody that you want to take lightly. You just can't doubt a guy like that.
Clayster is your prototypical assault rifle player for competitive Call of Duty. He is accurate and very smart. We see him control a lot of the power spots for his team all around the map. When you talk about hardpoint, he's going to be the guy who's going to rotate towards those hills early, control the spawns for his team. He really just fuels the rest of his team to just play at another level. When Clayster's into the game, this team just looks completely different. Clay, one of the most important players to his team in Infinite Warfare.
Even after all of his accolades, after everything he's won, he was a COD Champs MVP. This guy is still hungry. Do not sleep on him. Do not sleep on FaZe in Infinite Warfare.
If you want storylines, we'll give you guys storylines.
There is a look at Clayster, the hype man, getting all kinds of excited before this game 4.
It was weird to see him with long hair in that video, Maven with long hair as well. Just, I remember when I met Clay and I saw that hair as well, I was like, if you're going to play with complexity, you're cutting that. I was like, I'm not hanging out with you. You wear the hair like that.
You gave him the style makeover?
I tried. No, he succeeded. He cut it. I just looked like a completely different person after that.
He still plays like the old Clayster, though. Back when he had the glasses and the ponytail, he was even yelling back then, playing alongside young guys like Slacked. But these days, he's playing amongst all adults here. The young guys are now old men, and Clayster, he's one of the old guard that it still has all of it. He still has all of that skill we saw way back in Black Ops 2.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of look at some of his teammates and you say, like, oh, yeah, the young players. It's like Attach and Zuma have been around for a while now. I mean, we saw Zuma back with a Rupt that I know COD Ghost, MLG Anaheim. I mean, these guys have been around for a very long time. And
I used to cast Zuma back in Black Ops 2, like, pro scrims.
Yeah, so, I mean, these guys, not too inexperienced anymore. They definitely have some big games under their belt. Obviously, the run they had in Advanced Warfare towards the end was unreal, trying to reclaim some of that magic here in Infinite Warfare.
FaZe is undefeated so far in our group of death. They're on match point now after dominating that uplink game. On the other side, Rise Nation, they faltered early to Infused. This is a must-win scenario if they want to avoid a potential three-way tie, assuming Infused can get past Enigma 6 on our feature station.
Yeah, and you also have to wonder, your first game for Rise Nation, Now, you're obviously not a very good online team. You may be playing a different style of play, online to try and get some wins, to just kind of get used to that same play style you had in Vegas. It may take a game or two, so you may look back at that first game for Rise Nation. Doesn't go their way against Infuse. Could just be trying to get some games underneath their belt.
As we discussed a little bit earlier in this series, Rise Nation, they've been doing their homework. They've been watching their opponents' games. They have been studying the replays. They have prepared for this moment. It shined through in our first hard point. Will they be able to do it once again as we head to Scorched? Your player to watch off the kickoff, it looks like we're going to be on board with Aqua, the original Slayer of this squad.
Yeah, they're going to need a big game from him if they're going to win this hard point. And we'll see if they get aggressive here. Rise Nation, FaZe obviously took all the pressure to him there in the uplink, winning it in commanding fashion. We'll see. If Rise Nation comes out here, plays a little bit passive, I feel like we could see a blowout in favor of FaZe.
That's kind of what I expected in our first game, though. And Rise just showed that they can collect so much hill time on the money hills. Will they be able to do it here on Scorched? Not so confident. Clayster off to a fantastic start, though. 5-0, already has the Scarab, working towards his Trinity Rocket as well as the Barrage. And you're going to see Clay just clearing house and now surging forward. The rotation is coming in, and he's one of the guys who is used to this. He's the old school anchor.
And I mean, you just look at the kills. It has just been Aqua versus Clay at this moment in time. Clay getting off to a 7-0 start. Man, he's shot with the NV4 or K-Bar. No, either assault rifle so accurate.
Shout out to the producer who played that Clayster piece. He knew it was coming here in game 4.
Yeah, you see Clay getting off into a fantastic start. As one more player here around the corner going to be able to pick him up. The streak ends at 8. FaZe, though, up 42-3 here, but you do have the Turbine Hill in control for Rise Nation. This is the one where we see a lot of time being taken.
Now, we saw the score streaks coming in from Rise once the game was basically already locked up in the first hard point. On Scorched, when can Clayster pull out the score streaks to really throw Rise off their game?
Well, in the next hard point, you can get a good amount of time when it goes over towards that warehouse hangar area. And then when it rotates over towards Drill, Drill is just wide open. You can use him to break that area.
We talked about Clayster's streaks. Well, now you see it's Aqua on his 8th spree, has full streaks as well.
Now, we'll see how he uses those. I mean, potentially you're trying to bait the other guy's streaks out, let him use them first, and then use your streaks to re-break. And I think you see those either used over in that first bridge hard point or over by Drill.
It's kind of crazy. You look at all the kills of the game, Clayster has more than all 3 of his teammates combined. The same thing can be said for Aqua on the other side of the stage. It's been all FaZe, though, in your kill feed. It's nothing but yellow. Very tight game after our first few hard points, and the rotation was on once again. Set up early is FaZe. Can Rise break through?
I can't remember a hardpoint game I've seen, or even a respawn game mode in general, where the kills are just so heavily favored towards one player on each side. I mean, right now you have 11-2 for Clay, 11-3 for Aqua. You got Facento with 1 kill. We talked about him, having to go big. Talked about Aqua potentially having a big game. This one, he's definitely stepped up, but nobody else on either team really has showed up.
It's like watching Kobe Bryant in his final game for the Lakers. Just a one-man team.
It's incredible. Best player ever. Anyway, you do see Clayster, though, going to get some help there. It's going to be Zuma going to 7-6. I really think this one, Chris, may come down to who has one of their teammates start to get going first. I mean, as crazy as it sounds with FaZe jumping out to an early lead, if one of these other players comes alive for either FaZe or Rise Nation, could swing the game heavily in their favor.
And if you're Rise Nation, you are crossing your fingers, hoping that player is not attached. He was the key factor, and the search for FaZe kept him in it for a while, and he definitely showed what he can do in this last uplink. On your screen is attached. As you see, around this corner will be 3 players. Picks up the first, expecting a push from another. He's going to wait for his teammates to get behind him, and then here will come the push. Score streaks being called in. Clayster going to be able to take out Facento. Enable takes out Felony. Attach looking for the last remaining 2.
Yeah, it's a smart play there by Attach. When the streak comes in, players are either going to be forced into observation deck or back towards him. Nobody comes towards him. Clay gets 1 on the hill, but like I said, there come the streaks from Aqua. It's going to force players off of the hill for FaZe Clan. So this game, very tight early.
They've been trading score streaks. They've been trading hills. FaZe back on top as they will pick up the final 10 seconds. It's going to be 105-80 on the rotation. Look out for player 2 and player 7. They're about to meet at the top half of the map. It's Enable on the flank.
Now he's not able to locate any of these players. Finally actually sees one directly behind him, throws a nade there. An odd gun engagement, but it's very rare, Chris, that we see a full rotation of hills with only 1 player on each team above 10 kills.
I was expecting Enable to actually be able to line up a few kills there on the flank. Instead, they sniffed it out. They shut him down. This middle hard point going to be locked down by FaZe first, but Rise Nation is right here to challenge. They win the gunfights, and into the hill Felony goes. He begins scoring, and honestly, I'm just waiting for FaZe to wake up. He's 4-11 right now, and he's the guy who took over the first hard point.
Well, this is kind of shades of the first hard point for Rise Nation, right? We talked about FaZe playing well in that first hard point. Aqua goes on a streak, helps them secure that first win. Kind of the roles reverse here. Aqua playing well. If FaZe comes alive, maybe they come back and take this one.
Attach with the Scarab picked up two with his gun as well. So another streak for Attach. He is now in the positive, sitting at 11-8, already a minute of hill time. Aqua, 17-10, has definitely slowed down, but he's been doing the objective for his squad as well.
That's going to be the Turbine Hill in control of Rise Nation early yet again. Nah, it's going to be an early break, though, here for FaZe. It's going to be Felony, the last one alive. Enable cleans him up. So 47 seconds on it. FaZe gets control. This could be very dangerous here for Rise Nation. They need a break here to keep this game close.
And Enable, massive two-piece at the bottom of your map. Another Scarab is out. It's going to call out the other two players. Zuma finishes off Looney, and Felony knows he is just trapped behind enemy lines, surrounded by 4 yellow arrows. And Felony actually surviving for a moment could cause some problems here with 20 seconds still on this hill. That's a big first kill. Can he defend himself once again?
Yeah, he kind of gets in behind the enemy lines there and is able to take out the player on the hill, but looks like Rise going to opt to rotate all the way over towards Hangar here with 10 seconds left. Aqua over on Skybridge. Big gunfight. Doesn't win it, though. Clay and Attach in the feed. They are pushing towards this Hangar, and Rise actually may lose the spawns for the next hill.
Felony from down low, looking for the picks. FaZe continuing to score. They have to stop the bleeding here. 176 to 112. Felony picks up the first, but Enable answers back on his teammate, so no support from up top. You see the stalled out Looney waiting for his moment to break in, but he needs Felony to open the door.
Chris, but with so much time given up on Turbine by Rise to FaZe and putting all of their games likelihood pretty much on this hill, they don't win the rotation. They give it up to FaZe. You see what it's done for the scoreline. FaZe is just pulled away.
This is about 100 points in a row for FaZe, basically. They have just pulled away in this one. Attached, doing all of the work inside the hill. That is 3 straight for him. His teammates constantly flooding in for reinforcements. FaZe over the 200 mark, working quickly towards 250. This is their match point, and they're just 40 points here away.
And it's going to go over to the drill here in a few seconds. You see at the bottom of your mini-map, it's going to be Rise Nation set up for it. But you do have streaks still for the side of FaZe Clan, so they're going to be able to use them to break here.
It's Rise. Set up. Clayster on the hunt. Not going to find anything. He's going to drop it near the drill. And he's only going to pick up his teammate. So not the break they wanted, but they were able to clean up 3 members of Rise. And Clayster, he knows where they're spawning. He's about to find all 3 of them. Picks up the first. Challenging the second is going to melt Looney.
Yeah, but the slow way he brings down that streak, the guys on Rise can't push towards the hill. It just gives his team enough time to get into those great advantageous positions over by the drill hardpoint and set up.
13 points remaining. And FaZe can lock it up on this hard point right here. Will they get it done? Clayster popping the camo, picks up 2. It's all yellow in the feed, and that's going to do it. FaZe Clan takes out Rise Nation. Perfect here on day 1.
A big win there for FaZe, 250 to 119. Clay finishes with a 7 streak towards the end there. Camo inside the hard point, picks up the last one. I know the streaks that he earned at the beginning of the game obviously helps him secure that drill hard point twice. Puts FaZe in a very good position here going into the brackets.
Everyone took turns shining. It was Clayster's turn here in game number 4. You can see the frustration from Rise Nation, because now really it all comes down to what problems can this open bracket team cause in tomorrow's pool play matches, and they're hoping Enigma 6 can take down Infuse.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at this